guys, welcome back or to my channel. My name is Michaela, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a much needed eyeshadow declutter. A lot of my eyeshadows are just taking up space that I could make for newer palettes that are coming out, and they're also old, expired, and probably smell really bad. So let's go ahead and get started. I went through my collection and I've narrowed down the ones that I want to keep, mainly first of all because I filmed this video already. And second of all, I'm not going to show you the ones that I'm going to keep. I'm just going to show you the ones I'm going to get rid of. And I may talk a little bit about why I'm going to get rid of them. But for the most part, we're just going to be cleaning up. So let's just clean out my collection. Okay? So the first palette that I'm going to talk about is the Too Faced Bon Bon palette. Just don't reach for it. Never really did. Whenever I first got it, everybody was losing their minds over this palette. It smells like chocolate. It smells really nice. Never use it like that. So this one is getting the boot. Next palette I'm going to talk about is the Lorac Black Tie Attire eyeshadow palette, and it looks like this. This is honestly the most boring color story I've ever seen in my entire life. Almost every shade is shimmer except for these two, and I think even they have a little glisten. So yeah, this one's getting the boot. The next Lorac palette that I have is this little mini pro palette, and it just has these three shades. It's champagne and this light brown and a dark brown, and I used to take this with me whenever I would go traveling to just throw a little something on my eyes, call it a day. But this palette smells really bad, and we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. Next palette that I have is the Ace Beauty Grandiose palette. I really like this when I received it in my BoxyCharm, but I just don't reach for this palette like that. This pink is beautiful, so is this red. The shimmers, the palette is lovely. I just don't reach for it. And if I don't reach for it, it's taking up space. So, gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. Trying to go through this as quickly as I can because I've already filmed it once. Okay? Next palette I have is the Pretty Vulgar Nightingale palette. This palette right here, it's just too cool toned, I guess. Don't reach for it. There's no shade in this palette. It just makes me go, ooh, I want to pick up the Nightingale Pretty Vulgar palette. Nope, nothing. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this one. Next palette that I also received in my BoxyCharm, did not spend a single dime on this palette, is the Laura Lee Party Animal palette, the super colorful one that everyone said was staining their eyes. I never even used this palette, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of it. It's taking up space. I'm not gonna use it. Never plan on using it. Go ahead and get rid of it. The next palette that I have is the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. It's this little mini palette full of ash, and we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. One is super duper old, and I only used two colors whenever I did use that palette. The next palette, which is a pretty close tie to it, is the Too Faced Natural Eyes eyeshadow palette, and there were a few shades in there that I did like. You can see that I kind of dug in those, and yeah, this one's old. I can smell it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. Next palette is the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette, and I just never reached for it. I really love the packaging on this palette though. Look at the little smoke swirls. It's so cute, but I just never reached for this. Never reached for it. Okay? Next palette that I'm gonna get rid of is the Element of Surprise palette from ColourPop. There were a few shimmers in this palette, mainly this one here, that just did not blend and was super gritty and chunky, and I absolutely hated this palette. And I would try to use it, and the colors just did not work. They just did. I don't know, maybe, I don't know, but I just hated this palette. Never reached for it anymore after I tried to use that one shade, and it was just a chunky mess. And no, so getting rid of the Element of Surprise palette. Next palette that I'm getting rid of doesn't even have a name on it. It's this Tarte palette here that has 35 shades of brown, and about 4 of them look identical. So we're going to go ahead and get rid of Miss Tarte. Next palette that I'm going to be getting rid of is this BoxyCharm and Pure palette. I'm just going to say it. This was like the worst palette that I ever received from BoxyCharm. And I've like kind of paused on my like BoxyCharm subscription just because I haven't really been interested in what they're like giving right now, and the shipping is kind of kooky right now. But yeah, this was honestly the worst palette I think that I ever received from them, besides the Laurel Lee one, but I never used that one, so I can't speak on the quality of it. But yeah, yeah, no, I hated this palette. I don't remember if I even did a BoxyCharm like video whenever I got this palette. I don't even remember. But yeah. Next palette I'm gonna be getting, well, I don't know. This one I'm on the fence about is the ColourPop Give It To Me Straight palette. I do like this palette. Looks like this. But I just don't really reach for it as much as I used to. So I'm gonna keep it for now. But if I don't reach for this like within the next 3-4 months, I'm gonna go ahead and toss it. The next palette I'm gonna be getting rid of is the Balm's Nude Tude palette, and this palette that I'm getting rid of, like, it just looks like all the other palettes that I'm getting rid of. And this one is just old. I love the Balm's eyeshadows. The Meet Matrimony palette, loved it. But I don't know, this one had a few too many shimmers in it, and I've never really used it like that. So I'm gonna get rid of the Nude Tude palette. The last palette that I'm gonna show you that I'm getting rid of is this palette from Morphe. It's the 35W palette, and I guess this was one of the ones that was before Jaclyn Hill's palette, because this palette was absolutely horrendous, and I was like, I truly felt bamboozled whenever people were talking about Morphe shadows, like Morphe this, Morphe that, Morphe blah blah blah. This palette was horrible, and this one reeks right now. Like, it's really close to my face, but this one reeks right now, so this one's definitely going. But I absolutely hated this palette. It did not perform very well at all. I'd swatch it, but these reek, and I don't want to put this on my skin. So, oh my gosh, this smells bad. Alright, so I feel cleansed, renewed, rejuvenated, and ready to spend some more money on palettes that I probably don't need. That completes today's video. If you enjoyed it, you already know what to do. Leave a like, a comment, and also don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys!